Finally tonight, a musician making her own sound and her own mark as an advocate for disability rights. Jeffrey Brown found just that in a performance and talk with Gaylin Lee in Austin, Texas. In this report for Canvas, our ongoing arts and culture series.
A concert in a packed church. The audience captivated by the performance of an extraordinary musician. Gaylin Lee is transforming what can be done with a violin, and more importantly, showing us what can be done with a life.
I really want there to be the acknowledgement that life is both difficult and beautiful at the same time.
Lee, now 35, was born with a congenital disability called osteogenesis imperfecta, or brittle bone disease. Her bones broke more than 40 times while she was in the womb, and 16 more have broken since. For her, that need be just one part of the story.
If I only focused on the negative, I would just not be a happy person. And so there usually tends to be an undercurrent of hope.
We joined Lee in Austin recently at the South by Southwest Festival. Fans lined up hours before the doors opened. Classically trained, Lee is now best known for her haunting original songs and versions of traditional folk music passed down for hundreds of years.
That's because they're good. I mean, are we going to still be singing Britney Spears in 200 years? Maybe. But I mean, they have to be pretty good to last that long. And so every fiddle tune that you know now, the melody is just so infectious, and it's just a really fun medium to work with.
She's a one-woman band able to create soaring sounds.
I use a Memory Man looping pedal, and so what that does is there's two buttons. One is a record and one is a delete, basically, and I push it down with my leg to record a segment that I want, and then it plays back again and again. But you can build up layers, and you can do it kind of craftily where you bring things in slowly. So what I started doing in 2013-14 is recording traditional fiddle tunes and reworking them with the looping pedal.
Obviously gives you a bigger sound, right? You can be a solo performer.
Yeah, it just allowed me to kind of explore a new genre almost.
Lee grew up in Duluth, Minnesota with a supportive community, teachers, and family. Her parents ran a dinner theater. Her three siblings included her in what she calls all of their hijinks. Was there a concern or fear that you wouldn't be able to play a violin? Or?
I realized that you probably don't know unless you have a disability that you spend every day modifying everything. I mean, I'm not concerned with doing it the way everyone does it because I can't really do anything the way other people do it. So for me, finding a way to play violin was just a matter of time.
So even then, you just did it. I mean, you just figured out how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we tried the cello first, and the cello is just too big. And then we tried violin, and we tried all the sizes, and even the tiniest one was too long for my arms to reach up on my shoulder. And so I guess it was divine inspiration or something that one of us thought of playing it up and down like a tiny cello. I took adaptive ballet and adaptive gymnastics, and I did some kayaking one summer, and adaptive sports are a thing, but I think adaptive music is maybe not as common, but I hope that it becomes more common.
Lee studied at Macalester College in St. Paul and the University of Minnesota in Duluth, graduating with a political science degree. She met her husband Paul at an open mic night, and they bonded over their love of camping, gardening, and cooking. She sings of him in her song Moment of Bliss from her latest album, Learning How to Stay.
All our chaos can be pared down to this.
Another milestone came in 2016 when Lee, then working as a music teacher, submitted her song Someday We'll Linger in the Sun to NPR's Tiny Desk contest.
Don't tell me we've got time. The sun will seem far away. It slips away when we pay no mind.
She won, beating more than 6,000 other musicians. The video of her performance at NPR's Tiny Desk has been viewed nearly 2.5 million times.
Thank you so much.
The contest and the attention it brought jump-started a touring career for Lee, and she and Paul, a janitor, quit their jobs, bought a van, and hit the road for the last few years. She's performed in 43 states and 7 countries. On every stop, she makes time to speak with groups in her growing role as an advocate for disability rights.
They're treating you the same as any other patient.
Her song, I Wait, is a call for maintaining the Affordable Care Act, protecting those with pre-existing conditions.
That history won't forget us or try to minimize our pain. And so while people with disabilities die without health care. So I felt really left out of the discussion and frustrated by people who claim to value human rights, not mentioning people with disabilities. So that song kind of bubbled up out of that. We need a seat now at the table, so please invite us, or don't pretend to care. By the time I went to school, the school that I went to had an elevator, and so I've grown up feeling like I have rights, like that's just a part of my consciousness. And I think there's a shift of thought away from seeing disability in any way negative, really, and celebrating it and celebrating the people who are doing it rather than something that you got to fix or overcome or struggle with.
Galen Lee told us she's writing a memoir and even thinking of running for political office. In the meantime, she's speaking out and singing with her own and what she calls her second voice, her violin.
And I am happy to be in this place, and I'm taking the long way around. Thank you.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Jeffrey Brown in Austin, Texas.
She is something. What an inspiration.